Happy to be joined by BFL bantamweight champion Serhiy Sidey, who's going to be fighting on Dana White's Contender Series September 5th. It is right around the corner. Serhiy, how are you, man?
I'm great, brother. How are you?
Doing awesome. We were talking off air. We have not done an interview since your, I think it was your pro debut, BTC 3, June 2018. And here you are, man. You're 9-1 on the verge of getting a UFC contract. Have you been able to kind of soak in these last 5 years and, all the hard work is paying off?
Yeah, I definitely try to. I definitely try to sit back and just, reflect on the moment. It's always, you win one fight and then you're focused on the next opportunity, next thing. And it's always going to happen that way. But it's nice to sit back and reflect on it and just see how far you've come.
When did you find out? I know a lot of the Contender Series guys, they get a lot of notice for their fights.
Yeah, so I pretty much found out like the week after my last fight, which was June 9th.
Wow.
Yeah, I actually saw Sean Shelby in the hotel room the next day after like Mike Malott fought on the Vancouver card. I saw him in the hotel and I introduced myself because I just saw him there like with Paul Felder and stuff, just hanging out. And he knew who I was. So I kind of had this like good feeling. He said he watched my fight and stuff. And then like a few days later, I got the call.
That's amazing, man. So, I mean, and obviously that show was awesome, 289. Like that must have pumped you up too, just seeing like, it was like Team Canada takeover that night.
Yeah, very inspirational, man. I saw a lot of like, Mike, I trained a lot with Mike that camp as in just like we did a lot of striking and I jumped in a lot of sessions with him and seeing all the stuff that he was working on, like just happen and on the main stage, on the biggest platform. It was very inspiring.
And you've, again, you've done, like I mentioned, you're the BFL champ, like you're not from BC, like you've gone to enemy territory, winning the belts and all that. You've had a lot of experience, even just for 10 fights. We hear UFC jitters, Dana White Contender Series jitters being the small cage. Do you feel like that's not really going to be a factor for you? Cause you've been in high pressure situations already.
Yeah, I strive under the pressure. Like I loved going to BC, man, walking into enemy territory where everyone's booing me, everyone's cheering the other guy. I don't know why. I just like it's those kind of moments, those kind of opportunities. Like that's why I do this kind of stuff because I feel like I'm like writing a movie, man. Like this is like a script for a crazy movie, and I'm like just like the main character, and I'm just visualizing this. And yeah, I like this the pressure, and I think I perform well under pressure.
Let's talk about your opponent here. 8-1 record. What do you know about him? How do you feel like you match up against him here?
Yeah, 8-1 record. He's a great striker, southpaw, very clean boxing, very confident with his fights. I see the way he moves. I think I match up great against him because I think I'm just much more well-rounded than him. He's got really, really nice hands, but I see a lot of holes that I can exploit. And the nice thing about my fighting style is I'm just gonna take you into the position that you don't want to fight in, right? I always find those opportunities, find those holes. You want to grapple me, I'm gonna strike you. You want to strike me, I can grapple you. Like I'll just find the path of least resistance, and I will keep pressuring that point over and over again. So yeah, I love the matchup. I know it's a tough fight. I'm not taking him lightly at all, but I'm very confident with myself.
Tell me a bit about camp. I know a lot of you guys out in Ontario, you do a lot of cross training. How has camp looked so far? And I know we got a little bit of time left, but how have things looked? Where you've been training, who you've been working with type thing?
Yeah, so I've been at Aegis MMA, Burlington Training Center, and Niagara Top Team, and I've been like just cycling through those gyms. The main focus this camp was fighting a lot, like obviously getting a lot of southpaws in my camp, right? Because I'm going to be fighting a southpaw. So I had guys like Adam Asenza, Amin, Sweet Dreams MMA, like he's awesome. And TJ Larmy, he's been playing southpaw with me, and he's a great southpaw boxer. So I've had a lot of opportunities to work with southpaws. It's awesome. Every time I come in, I got multiple left-handed bodies I can work with. And I've just been switching up with those gyms and obviously doing all my wrestling at NTT.
TJ gave you any tips? He was obviously a Contender Series winner and someone I think should still be in the UFC. Honestly, he got a bit of a raw deal, but I'm sure he's got a lot of knowledge to bestow, even though he's still a pretty young guy, right?
Yeah, TJ's got the rawest deal, man. That guy is so talented, and yeah, he's giving me a lot of tips. He's giving me a lot of advice. Mike Malott's another guy who, sat me down a few weeks ago when we were in the sauna and like literally did a play-by-play visualization of how it's gonna feel and how how many steps there are on the cage and how you're gonna walk out and where everyone's sitting. And he made it feel so real, got my emotions going and then just like played it out in the best way possible. And that was one of the most powerful things somebody could have done for me because it brought me a lot of confidence and it brought me a lot of like mentality of like exactly where I need to go and how it's going to look. And yeah, very thankful for that I have guys like that who've been there, and they can give me that knowledge.
Yeah, and it's such an advantage having that guys around you. And again, Mike, I mean, couldn't be more popular right now with the Vancouver performance and so many different things. So that's great. You mentioned TJ Laramie. Do you get to work with Tony at all? I'm trying to campaign for Tony to get on Dana White's. I don't know why they haven't picked him up. He just got another big win for BTC not that long ago.
Yeah, I sparred with him a few times his last camp, and yeah, we've been working together. He's come down from Windsor a few times, and we get in work, man. Both those brothers are so high level, man. I've known the Laramie bros since like I was like 15, 16. I was looking up to those guys, right? So I definitely agree with you, man. I don't know how Tony's not in the UFC, not in the Contender Series. That guy is the killer 25-pound division. I think he can go through anyone.
Yeah, and they should just sign him honestly because they need more flyweights in the weight class anyhow. So, but anyways, that's that's a topic for another day. And then I know you always make weight, but got to ask anyways. Weight cut going great. How's all that going?
Yeah, my weight cut's going great, brother. Like I started working with a guy named Dr. Callum. He worked with Max Holloway back in the day. He works with a lot of NHL players, and like this camp, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do everything like a world champion would do it. And got my blood work done, got my saliva, my hormones tested. I got everything like dialed in. So like my sleep, my recovery, everything is on point. My nutrition, I never I never like mess around with my nutrition, man. I just love the healthy lifestyle anyways. So weight's never a problem. I'm exactly where I want to be. And I'm also the healthiest I've ever been because I feel like working with, a proper natural path who's been around the game is like really, really helped me elevate my game.
Who's making the trip to Vegas with you as far as your corner?
So I'm going to have Lyndon Whitlock and Paul Gerbert. Those guys.
It doesn't get much better than that, man. Lyndon's so good as a coach, man. He's yeah.
So good, man. And I've had, a relationship with him for almost a decade now. And I trust him. I trust his eyes. I trust his judgment. Same with Paul. When those guys are yelling commands like outside, man, like you need to have that trust with your coach so you can pull the trigger the second like you hear, some an opening and stuff. Some guys don't have that with their coaches, right? But I have a lot of faith. There's so many times where Lyndon's like called a combo and I've thrown it and knocked someone out, and I'm like, like coach. I feel like a little video game character sometimes, right? Yeah, it's awesome. So I have the best team, man. I really truly believe both those guys, like soon enough, they're going to get the recognition they deserve. And they have been.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. September 5th, how's this one playing out? How do you see it going down?
Yeah, September 5th, I see myself putting on the pressure. I think I fought higher level competition than my opponent. I'm going to be smart. I'm going to be tactical just like I always am. But I am looking for that finish. I'm looking for that contract. And I don't have to force a finish. 7 of my 9 fights have been finishes, and they happen all the time. As long as I, work on my strengths and I do my snowball effect where I just keep putting on the pressure, I will break this guy and I'll find my opening.
What about the timing of this opportunity? 135 at the time of recording this, we got the big title fight Saturday. We got Sterling O'Malley. Sterling says no matter what, he's moving up. So that means the division is kind of going a bit through of a transition period. You're seeing a lot of up and comers in the weight class right now. What does it mean to be potentially a part of a weight class that's going through a lot of changes right now?
It's awesome. It's a perfect time for me to put my name onto the division. I love the 135 division, man. Like there are so many killers and so many cool fights, so many exciting matchups and puzzles for me to try to solve in the future, man. I think it's the most exciting division. I think it's got the coolest personalities as well, not just like level of fighters, but the coolest personalities. And I'm excited to be part of that, man. That's been my dream ever since I was a kid, and it's going the right way, and I'm just excited to get in there.
Let's talk about stuff outside of MMA. I know great time of year in Ontario. The weather's great. You getting to enjoy yourself at all? Maybe get down get down to the water at all? What have you been up to? I know the focus is on the fight, but you getting a little bit of downtime at all?
Yeah, every time I get a little bit of downtime, man, like it's slight, but I spend it outdoors, hiking, chilling by the water, chilling by the pool, and just hanging out with family, man. Like, I don't know, something about fight camp, man, it really makes you appreciate all the little things, because you don't get that same amount of time and same amount of things to do stuff. So I really feel present in the moment with my family, and when I'm outside going on hikes, and I just enjoy the small little things. But yeah, that's always a great recharge time because you can't just be going go the whole time. You will burn out. So I find moments to recharge. But again, at the end of the day, man, my focus is just train, sleep, recover, back to it every single day.
Are you only a fan of MMA, or do you watch any other sports? Like I know Malott, for example, he's a bit of a hockey fan as well.
I know nothing about anything except for fighting, brother.
That's cool. Okay, no,
Yeah,
that's why I asked, because I know a lot
yeah,
of fighters like that. That's all they do is and to be honest, you could just, if you watched every promotion, like you wouldn't have time to watch other sports. There's so much out
exactly,
there, right? So
exactly,
even I
man.
have a hard time keeping up, right? So
Yeah, yeah. So that's my, like, when people ask me about my other hobbies, I'm like, I hike, I read a book once in a while, like
yeah.
I do that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's all mixed martial arts for me, brother.
Geez, you sound like Aaron Jeffrey. I know he's big into the books and stuff, and but I mean, the results speak for themselves. You live that kind of simple lifestyle. The results sort of speak for themselves in the cage, and we're looking forward to that on September 5th, man. Dana White's Contender Series. Really appreciate the time, man. If there's anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media you want to mention, I'll give you the last word.
Awesome. Yeah, I just want to thank all my friends, all my people, my training partners, all my students at my gym, Burlington Training Center. They're all hyping me up, getting ready, and then yeah, my sponsors. I have Go Float Studios, float tank place that I love to go to, Puds Landscaping, and then I have 50 pesos favorite food. It's like a healthy taco spot. These guys have been supporting me, and then Endorphins Health and Wellness. Yeah, they're my team. They've been supporting me, and I appreciate all of them.